The dynamics between the most important women in Donald Trump's life have always been a subject of intrigue and speculation. From the unusual relationship between Melania and Ivanka Trump to the feud between Ivana Trump and Marla Maples, the intricacies of these connections have fascinated both the public and the media. In today's video, we'll take a closer look at the hidden aspects of these complex relationships and uncover the secrets that have kept people talking for years. No more further ado, let's get started. Ivana Trump and Marla Maples feud. The animosity between Ivana Trump and Marla Maples began when it was revealed that Maples was having an affair with Donald Trump. The two women found themselves in an awkward confrontation in 1989 during a family vacation in Aspen when they happened to be staying at the same resort. In her memoir, Ivana Trump recalled the incident, where Maples approached her and said, "I'm Marla, and I love your husband. Do you?" Ivana's response was firm, "Get lost. I love my husband." She admitted it was an unladylike retort, but she was in shock. However, there are reports that the exchange was even more heated than Ivana's recollection. An eyewitness claimed that Ivana confronted Maples, angrily telling her, "You boo-boo, leave my husband alone." The following year, Maples and Donald Trump's affair became public, solidifying her status as Ivana's #1 enemy. In 1990, Ivana expressed concern about the impact of the tryst and subsequent split on their children. She told Vanity Fair, "The children are all wrecks. Ivanka now comes home from school crying, 'Mommy, does it mean I'm not going to be Ivanka Trump anymore?' Little Eric asks me, 'Is it true you are going away and not coming back?'" Maples and Trump eventually married and had a daughter, Tiffany, in 1993, but by 1999, they had separated. The breakup led Maples to issue a public apology to Ivana through the Daily Telegraph in London, saying, "I regret the harm I have caused Ivana, and I've apologized to her. I know she lives in London now, and if she reads this, I want her to know again how sorry I am about everything." While the tensions between them cooled off for a while, the love triangle resurfaced in 2015. When asked if she had forgiven Maples on page 6, Ivana made it clear that she had not. She stated, "No. Why should I? She broke my marriage." Ivana expressed her displeasure with Maples, saying, "She broke my marriage and destroyed my family, and now she's nobody." Ivana also mentioned that during the presidential campaign, she was approached to participate in Dancing with the Stars, but declined it out of respect for Donald. However, Maples accepted the offer and lasted only 1 week on the show. Ivana couldn't help but express her satisfaction at Maples' early exit. Referring to Maples as a showgirl who had never achieved anything in her life, Ivana didn't hold back her criticisms. Maples later expressed her regret over the situation, stating, "It makes me sad because I wish her nothing but love, and I've never had any intention of hurting her. I love her kids I'm still close to." She wished Ivana the best and hoped that any resentment would be forgiven for Ivana's sake. Ivana Trump on Melania Trump and Marla Maples. Ivana Trump, throughout her life, maintained that she didn't have any issue with Melania Trump, Donald's third and current wife. However, she made no secret of her dislike for Marla Maples, Donald's second wife, whom she held responsible for the breakdown of her marriage to Donald. In a 2016 interview with People magazine, Maples expressed feeling sad about the animosity between her and Ivana. In the years before her passing in July, Ivana did seem to take a subtle jab at Melania. She asserted that while she may not have been the First Lady of the United States, she would always be the first Mrs. Trump. Ivana reportedly upset Melania when she told ABC News, "I'm basically the first Trump wife, okay? I'm the First Lady." This comment stirred some controversy and added another layer to the complex relationships within the Trump family. Melania Trump pays her respects to the late Ivana Trump. Melania's spokesperson had previously responded to Ivana's apparent jab by suggesting that she was simply trying to sell books as she embarked on the promotional circuit for her book, Raising Trump. When Ivana passed away, it remained uncertain whether Melania would attend the funeral service. However, her actions spoke volumes when she did show up to pay her respects. Melania's decision to attend the funeral highlighted the complexities of the relationships within the Trump family and demonstrated a sense of respect during a challenging time. Melania Trump hangs out with Marla Maples. Maples and Donald were together from 1993 to 1996, a period marked by its own complexities and controversies. Melania, despite being a more private figure in comparison to her husband's previous wives, hadn't spoken extensively about Donald's former spouses. However, her appearance at Tiffany's bridal shower in November added a new dimension to her relationship with Marla Maples. During the event, Melania was spotted mingling with Maples and other female members of the Trump family, notably without a glimpse of the Don. In a photo shared on Instagram by Kimberly Guilfoyle, the fiancée of Donald Trump Jr., Melania stood alongside fellow guest Susan Malzoni, who was wearing a yellow gown that matched Melania's outfit. The image featured a lineup of prominent women in the Trump family, including Lara Trump, Eric Trump's wife, Tiffany Trump, and, notably, Marla Maples. Maples had generally avoided making public appearances with the Trumps in the past, given the complexities surrounding their relationships. However, the photo from Tiffany's bridal shower suggested that Melania and Maples might be in a more positive phase of their relationship, marking a potential improvement in their rapport. Marla Maples shows love for Melania Trump. At Tiffany's wedding, Marla Maples appeared to confirm that her relationship with Melania is currently on good terms. During her speech at the event, Maples made a heartfelt acknowledgement of Melania, expressing gratitude to both Donald and Melania for their support and closeness to Tiffany over the years. The yoga teacher's words, as reported by British media, reflected a sentiment of unity and warmth within the Trump family. Maples remarked, "I just want to thank your wonderful father Donald and the beautiful Melania, and all the family for holding so close to Tiffany throughout the years. It's been a bit of a ride for everyone, but the warmth you all share together is what holds this family together. If we all stay strong together, we're going to help hold the world together." Her speech at the wedding signaled a positive and harmonious relationship between her and Melania. Melania and Ivanka Trump's unusual relationship. On the surface, Ivanka Trump and Melania Trump may seem like they have a lot in common. They share financial privilege, a sense of style, grace, a deep commitment to their families, and a need for patience, loyalty, and thick skin as they navigate the tumultuous world surrounding President Donald Trump. Their lives have become entwined in the constant whirlwind of scrutiny, with millions of admirers and critics watching their every move. In a fictional world like the TV series Dynasty, Stepmother and Stepdaughter, often referred to by the Secret Service as Muse and Marvel, would be portrayed as obvious rivals. They would be in a constant battle for President Trump's affections, favor, and influence, engaging in private conflicts and wearing plastic smiles in public. It might even involve occasional hair-pulling, all in the name of drama. However, this is real life, and the dynamics between the two most significant women in the president's life are quite different. Their relationship is not defined by constant rivalry or discord, not just because politics create these strange alliances, but also due to the complexities of their roles and the realities of their situation. Ivanka and Mrs. Trump have always shared a close relationship, and that continues today. The First Lady's spokeswoman, Stephanie Grisham, reassured in early 2017. Despite reports of a perceived frostiness between them, their bond appeared to be strong. Melania had not yet moved into the White House full-time at that point, as she remained in New York until her son Barron Trump could finish the school year. Melania's approach to her role as First Lady seemed to mirror her life in New York, where she prioritized taking care of her family and being a gracious hostess, albeit on a much larger scale. During the inauguration weekend, she meticulously organized accommodations for all the Trump children and grandchildren. They initially stayed at the Blair House before moving into the White House after President Trump's swearing-in ceremony and the departure of the Obamas. Ivanka's involvement in White House affairs was noticeable from the beginning. In Emily Jane Fox's book, Born Trump, it was revealed that Ivanka even made a specific request for the Lincoln bedroom. Moreover, when Melania expressed concerns about the safety of the traditional Inauguration Day walk with her husband and son, Ivanka was reportedly assertive, ensuring that it would take place. As President Trump's third year in office began, Melania and Ivanka seemed to have found a way to coexist harmoniously, avoiding any unnecessary conflicts. This was facilitated by their distinctly different approaches to political life. Ivanka was fully immersed in the administration, actively working on policy matters and assisting her father with pressing issues. In contrast, Melania chose to maintain a lower profile and focused on her own initiatives. Ivanka became sensitive to any confusion between her role in the administration and that of the First Lady. She made it clear that her primary focus was on policy and her efforts to support her father's administration in any way she could, leaving the First Lady's duties to Melania. Stephanie Grisham, Melania's spokesperson, emphasizes that while the First Lady's office independently focuses on her initiatives, they maintain a positive working relationship with the West Wing, including Ivanka's team, and collaborate on various projects. Their roles within the administration seem to be well defined, with Melania and Ivanka largely operating independently in their respective initiatives and areas of interest. Melania's Be Best initiative, aimed at promoting the well-being of children, was a major focus of her tenure as First Lady. In October, she announced a trip to Africa as part of this initiative. Interestingly, Ivanka had also been planning her own trip to Africa, possibly scheduled for January 2019, which she conveyed to the East Wing. However, this trip with Senator Lindsey Graham, who transformed from a Trump skeptic to an avid supporter, has yet to materialize. While Melania refrained from active involvement in campaign events, Ivanka embraced this role, joining her father at several rallies leading up to the 2018 midterm elections. Her comfort in transactional socializing and deal-making made her a valuable surrogate for the president. In contrast, Melania, known for her aversion to public spectacle, was content with maintaining a lower profile, despite her husband's more flamboyant approach to politics. It appears that Melania and Ivanka have managed to maintain a harmonious relationship despite their differing roles within the administration. A White House official emphasized that the two women, both strong and independent, have their own unique portfolios and responsibilities, but they consistently offer each other personal and professional support. This theme of mutual support is not entirely surprising, given that Ivanka dedicated her 2009 book, The Trump Card, to Melania, acknowledging her for her continued support and encouragement. While Melania's mention in the book was not a snub, it did not exude an overwhelming sense of affection either. Ivanka's dedication began with gratitude toward her parents, putting Melania in third place, behind her maternal grandmother and a beloved nanny. Ivanka Trump's childhood was anything but ordinary, as she found herself thrust into the spotlight at a very young age. She was just 8 years old when her parents, Donald and Ivana Trump, separated, and the tabloids eagerly covered the dramatic events that followed. However, the most astonishing moment occurred when Ivanka was only 9 years old, and she was subjected to a question that no child should ever have to answer. This question arose in the aftermath of the infamous New York Post front-page headline that declared, "Best sex I've ever had." The headline was a result of Marla Maples, the future second Mrs. Trump, responding yes during a phone interview with a Post editor when Donald Trump asked her if he was, indeed, the best she'd ever had. The subsequent inquiry posed to Ivanka was both shocking and inappropriate. A reporter asked her if it was true that her father was good in bed, a question that was not only intrusive, but deeply uncomfortable for a young girl to address, especially when it involved her own father. In her book, Ivanka expressed her disbelief and dismay at being subjected to such a question, writing, "What type of person would ask a 9-year-old girl that kind of question? About her own father, no less." She went on to describe how she and her family were treated as fair game, their lives constantly under scrutiny, and the intrusive questions seemed to have no end. From inquiries about her feelings towards Marla, whom she wanted to live with after her parents' divorce, Ivanka found the media's obsession with her family's personal life to be not only insane, but also deeply offensive and upsetting. In her candid account, she revealed that none of them had seen the divorce coming, as they had always assumed their parents would work through their issues. However, a daily news headline abruptly shattered their illusion one morning as Ivanka was on her way to school, blaring the words, "Love on the Rocks." Describing her parents as smart and media-savvy, Ivanka noted that even they had failed to anticipate the magnitude of what was about to unfold. The divorce proceedings, played out publicly and in the headlines, culminated in Ivana Trump gaining custody of Donald Trump Jr., Ivanka herself, and Eric Trump. The Trump family's use of the New York tabloids as a platform to communicate and air their grievances is legendary. However, despite the public spectacle, Ivanka refrained from casting her parents in a negative light in her narrative. Her recounting of the story was notably devoid of criticism, even when it might have been expected, especially during her father's presidential campaign. In fact, Ivanka and her siblings have an open and honest relationship with their father, where they acknowledge both their admiration and the aspects they may not particularly admire about him. They have grown up in an environment where their father treats them as adults, partners, and family, never keeping secrets from them. Ivana Trump, reflecting on her role as a mother, revealed that when her children turned 21, she handed over the reins to her ex-husband, Donald Trump, essentially saying, "Here's the finished product. You can take them from here." Ivanka. Trump's admiration and affection for her father, Donald Trump, were evident throughout her life, evolving as she grew older and became a parent herself. At the age of 14, Ivanka deeply loved her father, though she didn't fully grasp the extent of his greatness. However, as she became a parent, she developed a profound appreciation for the challenges of parenthood. She recognized that her father, despite being tough and firm, was always available to his children. Ivanka's perspective on her father shifted, and she came to value him even more. The divorce between her parents, which occurred when Ivanka was 12 years old, had a complex impact on her. While it temporarily strained her older brother, Don Jr.'s, relationship with their father, it strengthened Ivanka's bond with her dad. She realized that she could no longer take him for granted and made an effort to spend more time with him. Previously, she had simply said hello when he came home without giving it much thought. Nonetheless, the divorce, coupled with the loss of her maternal grandfather and a beloved nanny who had been like a second mother to her, marked the darkest and most challenging period in Ivanka's young life. Despite the difficulties she faced, all three of the eldest Trump children eventually joined their father at the Trump Organization, where their relationships with him deepened in adulthood. Eric Trump even described Don Jr. as being like a father figure to him. However, Ivanka was the only one among her siblings to make the move to Washington, D.C. after Donald Trump was elected president. Along with her husband Jared Kushner, she became one of the president's closest advisors. Their influential roles in the administration raised eyebrows, given their previous involvement in fairly liberal politics and associations with politicians who did not align with their father's political journey that began in 2015. Ivanka emphasized the unique dynamics of her relationship with her father, describing him as both her father and her boss. She highlighted the strength of their connection, both personally and professionally, which she attributed to her candid communication with him. Ivanka's ability to be forthright and open with her father has played a pivotal role in their close relationship. Despite the criticism that surrounded Ivanka Trump and Jared Kushner's appointments to positions in the West Wing, they continue to hold their roles. President Trump had pushed for security clearances for both Ivanka and Jared, disregarding the advice of security officials, former Chief of Staff John Kelly, and former White House counsel Don McGahn. Ivanka, however, denied any special treatment in obtaining their clearances and insisted that her father played no role in the process. On the other hand, Melania Trump has always appeared content to remain out of the spotlight. She was one of the few individuals in President Trump's inner circle who genuinely believed he would win the presidency. Ironically, she was also reportedly the most affected by his actual victory, shedding tears of unhappiness on election night. Throughout her husband's political career, Melania has been low-key, allowing headlines to focus on others. She has approached the role of First Lady with her own unique style. Even before her husband's candidacy, Melania was asked about the type of First Lady she would be, and her responses often included references to Jacqueline Kennedy and Betty Ford. These former First Ladies were known for supporting their husbands' profiles, with Betty Ford also making a significant contribution to addiction treatment, while Jacqueline Kennedy remains an iconic figure in her own right. Melania Trump has consistently been praised for her intelligence, warmth, and charitable work. Ivanka Trump spoke highly of Melania's charitable efforts, emphasizing that her stepmother has been involved with numerous organizations for many years, demonstrating her commitment to philanthropy. Ivanka believed that Melania would be a powerful and impactful First Lady, and she expected her stepmother to excel in any role she chose to prioritize. Historically, First Ladies have often enjoyed higher approval ratings than their husbands, a trend that Melania has followed. However, Melania's ratings tend to dip when her rhetoric aligns with President Trump's. Despite facing criticism and claiming to be the most bullied person in the world, Melania has maintained an image of class and impeccable taste for those who support the administration. Ivanka, on the other hand, experienced a decline in popularity as she became more closely associated with her father's presidency and failed to act as a check or balance on his agenda. It appears that Ivanka and Melania, who once managed their own narratives smoothly, now share common challenges. Both are facing unique circumstances in their roles within the Trump administration. Melania has dealt with bizarre conspiracy theories about her, including claims that she has a body double. Ivanka faced criticism and backlash online for her comments on the minimum wage, and eventually closed her eponymous fashion brand to focus on her work in Washington. As they enter this new chapter of their lives, the relationship between stepmother and stepdaughter is a point of curiosity. And that's all for today's video. If you found it interesting, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel to support us. Thanks for joining us. I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.